High in the misty highlands of Guatemala, where volcanic ridges slice the horizon and clouds drift through pine forests, an ancient people continue to shape their lives around traditions older than most written history. They are the Kaqchikel, one of the great Mayan nations whose story is not frozen in ruins but carried forward in language, ceremony, agriculture, and daily rhythm. Their villages cling to slopes above deep valleys, fields ripple with maize, and markets glow with woven color, while echoes of pre-Columbian cosmology still guide how families pray, plant, cook, and remember. Long before Spanish ships crossed the Atlantic, the ancestors of the Kaqchikel built cities of stone, raised temples toward the sun, and charted time with mathematical precision. They were part of the classical Maya world that flourished across Mesoamerica. Yet they later forged their own political identity in the Highlands, founding capitals such as Iximich, a city ringed by ravines and crowned with ceremonial plazas. Here rulers presided over rituals that bound communities to gods of rain, maize, fire, and mountains, while scribes recorded dynasties and cosmic cycles in hieroglyphic texts. Even today, time itself is not merely counted but interpreted. Many Kaqchikel communities continue to consult the sacred 260-day calendar known as the Kaqchikel, a spiritual almanac that assigns each day a personality and destiny. Daykeepers memorize its intricate patterns and perform ceremonies at dawn or dusk, burning copal incense, candles of specific colors, and offerings of seeds or cacao to restore balance between humans and the invisible forces that animate the world. These rites take place on hilltops, in caves, beside lakes, or at crossroads believed to be charged with spiritual power. Daily life begins early. Roosters cry as smoke curls from kitchen hearths and women grind maize on stone matates, polished by centuries of use. Corn is not just food, it is origin. In Maya creation stories, humans were formed from maize dough, and every tortilla echoed that sacred ancestry. Dough is petad by hand and laid on clay camals to puff over open flames, filling homes with the aroma of roasted grain. Beans simmer nearby, chiles blister in embers. Squash, greens, herbs, and wild mushrooms complete meals shaped by land and season. Food binds families and generations. At festivals, stews grow richer and more elaborate, thickened with seeds, herbs, and toasted spices. Pepián, a complex sauce of roasted chilies, pumpkin seeds, tomatoes, and garlic, may bubble in huge pots, poured over chicken or turkey for communal feasts. Tamales are wrapped in banana leaves, stuffed with meat or vegetables, and steamed for hours until fragrant parcels are stacked high for weddings, saints' days, and rituals honoring ancestors. Clothing is another language spoken without words. Women wear hand-woven huipiles embroidered with symbols that signaled village identity, lineage, and cosmology: birds, flowers, mountains, stars. Each design is a map of belonging. Skirts are wrapped and belted with bright sashes. Men may wear patterned shirts or woven trousers, especially during ceremony. On backstrap looms, anchored to trees or posts, weavers lean into taut threads, transforming cotton and dyed yarn into textiles whose patterns encode history stitch by stitch. Markets pulse with life and color. Vendors arrange pyramids of avocados, onions, tomatoes, chilies, and herbs, beside baskets of maize in different hues: yellow, white, blue, red. Others sell pottery, candles, woven bags, or bundles of medicinal plants. These plazas are social hubs where news spreads, marriages are negotiated, and rituals are prepared. Bargaining unfolds in Kaqchikel language, still spoken by hundreds of thousands, carrying ancient concepts into modern commerce. Homes blend old and new. Adobe walls and tile roofs shelter families who now use cell phones and motorcycles while keeping altars and corners decorated with candles, flowers, saints, and photos of the dead. Catholic imagery introduced during colonial times merges with Maya spirituality in a living syncretism. A saint's statue might be honored with prayers that echo pre-Hispanic invocations to rain or earth deities, reflecting centuries of adaptation rather than simple replacement. Ritual specialists, known as or daykeepers, occupy a respected role. They diagnose spiritual imbalances, choose auspicious dates for planting or marriage, and perform ceremonies for healing, protection, or thanksgiving. Fire is central to these rites. Flames crackle as offerings of sugar, incense, alcohol, flowers, and candles are arranged in symbolic patterns. Participants speak aloud their worries and hopes, believing smoke carries words to the unseen world. Life milestones are marked with ceremony. Births prompt blessings to protect infants from malevolent forces. Adolescence brings new responsibilities in fields or households. Marriages weave families together through feasts, prayers, and exchanges of gifts. Death is not an ending, but a passage. Relatives gather to pray, burn candles, and prepare favorite foods for the departed, especially during the days when spirits are believed to return and walk among the living. Music and dance animate festivals throughout the year. Marimba melodies ripple through plazas, while dancers don masks, portraying conquistadors, animals, saints, or mythic beings. Costumes shimmer with feathers, sequins, and bells. Some danzas reenact colonial encounters. Others preserve older narratives of cosmic struggle and renewal. Drums and flutes echo between volcanic slopes, turning ritual into spectacle and memory into movement. Agriculture remains the backbone of survival. Milpa fields mix maize, beans, and squash in an ancient ecological partnership that conserves soil and maximizes nutrition. Farmers read clouds, winds, insect behavior, and lunar cycles when deciding when to plant or harvest. Ceremonies request rain and give thanks for abundance. Even as climate change introduces uncertainty, ancestral knowledge continues to guide how communities respond to droughts, frosts, and shifting seasons. The past casts long shadows. The Spanish conquest shattered Maya kingdoms, including Kaqchikel strongholds, ushering in centuries of forced labor, land loss, and cultural suppression. In the 20th century, Guatemala's civil war inflicted devastating violence on indigenous communities, leaving scars still visible in memory and landscape. Yet resilience defines Kaqchikel history. Language survived. Rituals endured in secret. Weaving patterns continued to encode identity when other expressions were forbidden. Today, many Kaqchikel navigate two worlds. Children attend state schools, yet learn traditional prayers from grandparents. Migrant labor and tourism bring cash into villages, altering diets, architecture, and aspirations. Youth listen to pop music while participating in ancient ceremonies. Activists fight for land rights, linguistic recognition, and political representation, reframing tradition not as relic, but as foundation for future dignity. Tourists sometimes encounter Kaqchikel culture through lakeside towns, markets, or festival days. But behind these moments lie complex lives shaped by history, faith, labor, and family. Each embroidered blouse takes weeks to weave. Each ritual fire reflects generations of cosmology. Each field of maize is planted with hope, sharpened by experience. As night falls over the highlands, fires glow in hearths, and on ceremonial altars alike, stories passed from elders to children in rhythmic Kaqchikel phrases. Volcanoes loom dark against star-packed skies, the same constellations watched by ancestors centuries ago. In these moments, continuity becomes visible. The Kaqchikel are not relics of the Maya past. They are its living present. Their world is one of adaptation and endurance, where sacred calendars coexist with smartphones, and tortillas cooked on clay griddles share tables with store-bought bread. Through ritual, food, language, and land, they maintain a dialogue with ancestors while shaping lives that meet the demands of a changing century. To witness the Kaqchikel is to glimpse how humanity survives by weaving memory into everyday action. In fields, kitchens, markets, and mountain shrines, this Maya people continue to negotiate the balance between tradition and transformation, proving that culture is not something preserved in museums, but something cooked, spoken, prayed, danced, and lived every single day.